Thank you. Well, 3 area universities are now part of a national security fellowship with the Air Force Global Strike Command. Jasmine Bingham joins us now with the details. Jasmine?
Jennifer, officials say this is the first year they have partnered with both Grambling State and Louisiana State University in Shreveport to enhance Air Force technology and operations.
This is the program's 5th year, and this year they have added a new kinesiology focus. Students are able to present their skills to Air Force officials during midterm and even apply for jobs with the Air Force after. They are able to use skills in math, computer science, and other fields to assist the Air Force. The Chief of Staff in Shreveport says they are working closely with Barksdale Air Force Base on data collection and cognitive functioning of pilots.
You've got training programs, you've got modeling and sim type programs that could happen. These are things that, as far as the data related, collection of data, information systems, some in the past. We just had a student finishing up in kinesiology, which was interesting because they're taking a whole person look at what it takes to do long endurance flights, 20+ hours.
Students are paid up to $30 an hour while completing a year in the program. One student who is entering her 2nd year says she is using data collection to study the creation of a training model for the Air Force. She says it has a lot to do with virtual reality.
My research is focused on looking at new trends in virtual reality training tools. And these are being incorporated even here on campus in our aviation program. We're seeing that pilots are trained more and more using virtual reality and how to enhance and validate those tools as we're training our pilots.
Chief Ward says they plan to begin the program in June and start more recruiting efforts in late January of 2025. Jennifer?